My name is Susan Elkin. I'm a freelance journalist specialising in performing arts and education, and I have a long track record as a secondary school teacher of English. I first experienced Y touring, I think, although it's a while ago and my memory may be playing me false, with a play called Memory Box, which I saw in a girls' school in Camden. And I was tremendously impressed, both with the way it made the girls think, and they were quite young girls, I think maybe only 11 or 12 years old, and with the production values of the actors who were working on the play. Any thoughts I had at the time about Y touring being a sort of low-grade theatre and education group just addressing a few issues were blown out of the window immediately. This was a professional company doing a professional piece of drama, which almost, incidentally, made the children think. What impresses me is the way they encapsulate really good quality science with proper production, proper, in inverted commas, production values. For example, one of the plays I saw was about genetics. Now, I can recall studying genetics for A-level zoology at school, and to put it in a dramatic form seemed to me to do the job perfectly, and I rather wished I'd been shown such a play at that age, as well as having been given an opportunity to discuss the ethical issues. The educational value of Y touring works on several levels. First of all, I'm basically an arts person, although I have done a bit of science. You know, I love books and drama, and English was my teaching subject, so I'm passionate about the arts, but I'm also passionate about information and rational thinking. And very often, back to the old C.P. Snow two cultures business, very often those two things are seen as being in watertight compartments. What Y touring does is to integrate arts and science, and I think that is a very fine, quite unusual, if not unique, achievement. One particular thing which stands out for me is the way in which the company has worked so integrally with people from both industries, three industries really, the science industry, if I can call it that, education and theatre. I remember going, and that was sometime in the early 2000s, I think, to a debate with doctors at King's College, which was part of Y touring's Theatre of Debate project. And hearing some of the young people that were invited, very articulate, sensible young people, very impressively so, talking to very senior medics. And then going on another occasion and listening to some of the plays which had emerged from the discussions, which were read by actors with a view possibly to producing some of them. I thought this was a very worthwhile and exciting project. Even on a personal level, I've gained quite a bit over the years from Y touring's work. I went much more recently, earlier this year in 2010, to see the play Starfish at, I'm not sure of the name of the school, Lady Margaret School at Parsons Green, which was about a young man who had developed an incurable genetic condition. And the debate was whether or not he should experiment with untried medical procedures to try and make his position better. Now, there were several girls, it was a girls' school, and there were several girls in that room who were in tears before the end of it. And actually, so was I. Because I remember very well my father, who had the absolutely hideous neurological condition, Guillain-Barré syndrome, which very nearly killed him, but didn't. But when he was at his worst, but sufficiently able to reason, he opted to have some radical treatment, which in the form of very, very, very heavy doses of steroids, which he thought it was lose or nothing, nothing to lose, and everything to gain, possibly. So he went ahead with his treatment, which eventually caused kidney failure, which eventually killed him. And I couldn't help watching that Y touring production, but identify, as presumably some of the children there were too, with this experience that had been very, very close to me, and the production made me think about it in a different way, rather more logical and rather less irrational, as inevitably it is when it's your own father that's in that position. So yes, I have gained from it personally. If I had to sum up my touring in one word, it would be integrity. Largely because, and I'm going to add a rider, largely because integrity is a rather flexible word. I like the way why touring integrates several industries and aspects from several industries. I also think in the more conventional use of the word, it has tremendous integrity in the sense of doing a very good job. To sum up why touring in one sentence, I would say why touring is a first-rate company which combines the attributes of good theatre with the essence of all theatre, which is to make people think about key issues.